As most African descent cultures, but particularly the one in the United States, has not often reclaimed our African roots in ways that can lead to healing and wholeness as individuals and as members of our collective society. So one of the things that I work for on a daily basis is to make those connections, and not only for people in the African diaspora, but also to connect those in the African diaspora with those on the African continent. For instance, I have a current area of research that leads to the use of the N-word on the African continent, and how, in particular, hip-hop culture has made the N-word our most exported commodity. How then does that impact Africans who see African Americans in that light? I'm also working on a paper that focuses on South Africa 20 years after apartheid ended, which is this year. So I'm involved in a number of different things, including looking at issues related to law and race. I'm working on a collection about that right now, and also write poetry and fiction. So how do I think it benefits students and members of the Africana Studies at large? It increases our knowledge base, and again gives us something to build upon, to reach back, but also to move forward. And in terms of my engagement on campus, I, like most of the members of the core faculty of Africana Studies here, not only do research, but we look at engagement. So what do we learn in terms of our research that then can be applied to make life better for people that we're working with, that we're focused upon. So I do a lot of engagement work around those initiatives. Working with an individual at the University of McKoy in Uganda, who has done a series of interviews with local communities that in turn sparked scientific research from his work as a documentarian, as a linguist, in order to solve a particular scientific problem. In the College of Sciences, we have Dr. Fred Samasi, who is a climatologist and a mathematician. But what he found was that he couldn't create his climate models appropriately until he talked to the indigenous people about what happens at a particular time of year. How do they understand these things? So as long as we're in a world where STEM is recreated as the only thing that's going, but at the same time they don't recognize there's a wider picture, a larger understanding, then we're not going to be able to get there in the work that we're doing collectively. We can't ignore each other and pretend that bodies of knowledge don't exist for a reason. So I think STEM will only survive if they recognize the gifts and contributions of humanities and social sciences. We don't necessarily need them, but they certainly need us.